Welcome to today's practice session at the Sepang International Circuit. We're approximately 60 kilometers south of Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia. This 5.5-kilometer track provides all of the things that a racing driver could want of a circuit. So after the first race, how do you think this season will compare to previous years?
Well, I hope that we're in for a fantastic season. The Mercedes team have certainly come out of pre-season testing the strongest, which is all well and good, but it's the racing where the pace really counts. It's always difficult to predict, therefore, who's going to come out on top.
One of the biggest and most talked about changes for this season is the introduction of double points in the season finale in Abu Dhabi.
Well, after seeing Sebastian Vettel dominate the sport over the previous 4 years, I think they wanted to do something to ensure the final races still had something to play for. I'm not keen on this rule, though, as it feels a bit artificial.
Sit back and put your feet up as we head into qualifying here in Kuala Lumpur. Over the next few minutes, we'll find out who's got pace in the car and who hasn't. Last year we saw a wonderful race here in Malaysia, and I'm expecting another fascinating weekend to come here in Kuala Lumpur.
Well, there are at least 3 or 4 other drivers that could be strong contenders for a front row start tomorrow. So it's difficult to predict who will come out on top, but it's certainly going to be an exciting qualifying session today.
It's been a mighty qualifying performance from Mercedes today, with both cars on the front row for the race tomorrow.
Well, both these drivers have been working hard with the team to ensure they get maximum performance out of the car, and it looks like they've found the right combination, at least in qualifying trim. Now, we need to see how they get on in the race.
Good afternoon and welcome from Sepang for what is going to be a fascinating race. It's the Malaysia Grand Prix. It was a blistering lap time from Lewis Hamilton in qualifying yesterday. If he gets a clean start away from the grid today, he might be untouchable.
It's certainly better for a driver to be out in front, as they're able to drive without having to contend with the dirty air and overheating caused by being sat behind another car.
How does Nico Rosberg go about finding the time he was lacking at the end of qualifying in today's race?
Well, he's got to stay within touching distance of the lead during the first stint and then look to capitalise as the car becomes lighter and the tyre degradation eases.
Top 3 finish today. just not sure we're on the right ones for the conditions anymore. The stewards have now disabled DRS. DRS is now disabled. Keep your focus. Everyone's struggling in these conditions. Slightly overloaded on fuel.
Congratulations to Lewis Hamilton on a wonderful drive today. It was a truly world-class performance, underlining his credentials as one of the best British drivers of all time.
Indeed, they'll be ecstatic with that result, and they should be. It was a fantastic drive.
That's it for today's Grand Prix, and from Ant and I, it's goodbye, and see you again next time.